Hey yo, what is up? Today we are covering the Clan Wars reward tank. This is the 116F3. Now, not a lot of people get to play this tank because you have to earn it or you have to bid for it. What's so special about it is the gun. 530 Alpha. This is a 3-shot auto loader that takes about 38 seconds to reload. Today we are riding with a community contributor from Asia. This is Lee Shoren in the Viraga clan or Viagra clan. But here we are and he is showing us how it's done. Now this thing is of course a heavy tank, and in a situation like this where you have your entire team Zerg rushing one flank, there's only one thing for you to do, which is to go together with the group. Now if you're all doing it wrong but you're all doing it together, it's going to work, and it is being demonstrated here. There's Zerg rushing the west side of Muravanka, and it looks like they managed to recruit the entire team to go down the west side, which is fine and dandy, and that is how the meta actually works nowadays. If you're used to playing tier 10 matchmakers, you will see that there are a lot of games that are face rolls that are basically 15 zeros, 15 threes, 15 fours, and it happens because you have a bunch of very strong tanks like VZ55s, this 116F3, the 286 version 4, all Zerg rushing one flank, and when that happens you're gonna have to contend with a lot of armor coming towards you together. You basically do not, as a defender, you do not have the firepower to stop all of them at the same time, unless you have like seven guys with you, and then you have a quick reload, and then perhaps you can defend yourself from a Zerg rush like this. A Zerg rush like this will work if your team is cooperating together. But I digress. We are talking about the 116F3 and not about tactics today. 840 horsepower. You can see this tank is no slouch. You've got hardening, turbo, and improved aim on this tank. It is not running a vertical stabilizer, although I must admit I would have liked a vertical stabilizer on this tank, because the moving dispersions on this tank is 0.25, which isn't that great. The actual dispersion is 0.40, which you can get down to about 0.36 with food and all the equipment that you are running. But this is a pretty accurate tank, considering that you are firing in mostly close and medium distances. You're seldom going to snipe in this thing, so for medium and close distances you could get away with not running a vertical stabilizer and instead running improved aim like our friend here, Lee Shoren. Even with a 0.40 dispersion, he's hitting shots, but he needs to fully aim. This thing is of course an autoloader, which means 38 seconds of reload, and then you've got 3 shots 5 seconds apart with 530 alpha, which works really well if you have situations where you can be together with your team. If you're alone by yourself, this tank might not work really well, because during your downtime or when you're clipping, what are you gonna do with 38 seconds of your life? You've got to spend it hiding, evading, running away before you can fully reload and then come out and unload on your enemies again. But in a situation like this where you are together with your team, you have heavy tanks on your flanks left and right. Then you can just sit at the top of the hill here, wait for your reload, and then when you're fully reloaded you can come down and unload all 3 shells into your awaiting 907, as you can see here, doing 500, 476 and 595 rolls on the 907. This is a pretty devastating blow if you can land all 3 shots. You can see this is a pretty high damage game, over 5,000, maybe even 6,000 of damage, but you can see how the damage is going to rack up if you are doing 500 plus average damage. Pretty easy to get high damage rolls, high damage results. But again, this tank again is not a tank where you can be the solo hero like a chieftain where you just run around. You can be on your own, you can defend yourself, you can reload quickly, you can unload on your enemies. This tank doesn't work that way. This tank works on being together with your team, working together with your heavy tanks on your team, playing like a solo hero, running around the map by yourself is not a good idea, just because of that downtime of 38-40 seconds that you need to reload when you're done unloading your 3 shells. As you can see here, he spotted the 140 one shot. Wait another 5 seconds. This 140 did not learn anything. He's not backing off, and because of that he's gonna pay for it. 3 shells and he's done. Unloading all 3 shells and finishing off the 140. Now here's the problem: the Badger is coming for the 116, so he needs to run away for 38 seconds, and he's managed to evade the Badger just by going uphill. And very fortunately that Badger turns around, tries to snapshot the 116 before he disappears, but he misses that shot, and now the 116 is safe again. So he's just waiting for his reload. I would have rammed him right here and fired at the same time. I could have rammed here again, but he chose not to do that, and he did not get out the last shot. So very quick game, 6.5k damage, pretty good for a pretty quick 7-minute game, and an ace tanker for it. Should you get a 116 F3? Well, you got to play Clan Wars first. Pretty interesting tank, just for the fun of it. But on the ranking list of Clan Wars reward tank, this is probably the fourth choice or something like that. Definitely not the first choice. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one. Bye bye.